So just make sure you cultivate bodhicitta motivation.
That Yembel Somba Kaze, Kotana Mandor, Yella Nevi Shad, Cotton, Yella Pemby Shad, Drutonga, then other men and good. The Yabu and there is some Senizona, three Yabu, Yembel Somba Kaze, Condicha, Teto Yotenity, Yella Nevi Shad back. Cotton, then Yella Pemby Shad, Sheton Gate, that legal legend you are Teji, Sono Abu don't contribute.
So the more we cultivate and develop the bodhicitta mind, or this altruistic mental attitudes within us, then it will enable us to be able to prevent like a more harm, causing harm to other beings, and on the other hand, to be able to extend more benefit towards other beings. And also to bear in our mind that this our thought of benefiting others and also the deeds of benefiting others. So that also had the outcome of actually benefiting to oneself or fulfilling one's own interests as well. And similarly, if we harm, hold any thought of harming or any deeds of causing harm to others, so that also had the same effect of harmfulness upon oneself.
Yeah, there is somebody who was on the sugar, all the carrying yellow, maybe shot, dross, never shining, Magia, so shocking it in the up. That is said the question, Yapushushi,
so the based on this kind of the understanding of this of cultivating both of this altruistic mind and the benefit this mind has towards oneself and towards towards other beings, then it's really worthwhile. It's very important to always trying to remind to oneself, or even in the very beginning of the day, when you first gets up in the morning, to really to cultivate, give a bit of cultivate a bit of motivations or intentions that I will do as much as possible to benefit others, and to prevent causing any harm towards other beings.
That's anything that's shocking. So the Ludo net that thing was a come up with only God gives you carry, drug gives you carry, that's some telco with that in it. I put in your time, some to Tanya, but that little thing, teaching Shira. No, that's that. That was so much kind of.
So in this way, we on a regular or on a each day basis, we make a step in terms of making progress, in terms of what to achieve or what to abandon so we can make a progress on a everyday, on a each day basis. So so now we will continue with the teachings. So which if you have the copy of the commentary on from where we left, so last time, which goes here regarding the second, which is the wisdom arisen from listening by depending on the scriptures. So prior to this, so we cover about the sections where how you cultivate these wisdoms which arise from contemplating, from contemplating on the mainly from contemplating. So so because the wisdom, which arises from contemplating is depending upon, or is pending upon the giving rise to the wisdom which arises from the from listening, or so therefore the immediately after that, so there's teach about this. Yes.
Da some tests lula then teju shira na ra da ribala ten soju shira da ribala ten bi soju shira la soju da donye mi be soju shira ya bu xie mu xie de da lula ten bi da all tibi shira ra len do. Yesa lula ten bi tibi shira de ya bu so na de ribala ten bi da soju shira ya bu yong to da sang do ge ja. Somebody done everything I share. It's that just share. Lula tennis in it, teaching Shiranos. Now, teaching Shira, she has a little about the God. Could you? Then teaching Shira then so Shira, some tattoo with the Carson. Is that Denima Mokwaching him and the John Dunga.
So, in terms of the order in which this the presentation goes, so it presents the result first, then followed by the cause. So as we find here how the in the previous or in early on, the text talk about how to cultivate, how to gain the wisdom which arise from contemplating, and which is mainly such wisdom is and depends on or through contemplating, through the or independence upon the reasonings. So which the logical reasons, how then you develop the wisdom arisen from contemplating. So, and then in here, the text talks about the wisdom arisen from listenings. So, which is primarily depends upon the scriptures, and this wisdom is really the cause or the one which lead to the wisdom arisen from contemplating. So, of course, the scriptures here is talking about referring to the very authentic and the reliable source of listening or of learning. So we understand how this is knowing the authentic source, how this is important in terms of giving rise to the wisdom arising from contemplating. So in fact as far as the the explanation goes, so the commentary is quite self-explanatory. So we will just read through it. Yes. The verse with regarding this. No. No. The verse 51 and 52. So the verse 51 and 2, which read, the reasoning of the 70 stanzas on emptiness, the 3 tries on the middle way, and so forth, explain that the nature of all things is established as emptiness. Since there are a great many passages, I have not cited them here, but have explained just their conclusions for the purpose of meditations. No.
Amaza sole ju yebo no je roja na to manye da de xie ba xi bi de de xie ba ha iza de de xi da ga le xi ge ja che ga le xi ge da lu zhe le den da de ni xi ge de de xi ga gong ba to mo ni ni to ni ni de ji lu ja chen bo le xi ge ba de ni ne de ji na de ni de bi ge ma de to ni xi da Dende ba tembe tiba lebesene tene soju shirane tene goishira bunde tomro ngene tomo ngazo ji anjono tije de dene yunonda dene matin she chmoya dene soju shiraya ta nonda to ma de ta son te to tomo chigi ba te sa da garse ta ngene toni tije shiraya gabar dene shigeden toni denja ba gobale 엄마 자와시 다 소스지 마용거래 달라 땜비 대노 이제는 이뭐 로제 좀 많이 더 셰 바레스 더 신고도스 라 제테노 예세네 이뭐노나 친노데 로제 제비 동바 니데 되네 저바 아 대신 뉴스 대신 뉴스도 다 선도 시게바 기바다온 테라
So as the commentary read, the first 4 lines, which refers to that root text, the first verse, verse 51, advise relying on the great many scriptures which contained emptiness as their definitive meaning or subject matter. So in relation with this, so if we refer to the root text where it give an example of the scriptures, the reliable and authentic scriptures that which we must hear about, must study, in order to in order to gain the wisdom, arisen from contemplating. So the 2 main texts which are recommended here are by the Nagarjuna's, which is the text on the middle way text. The 70 stanzas on emptiness, and then the 3 tries on the middle way. Yeah, and then it's on the root text when it said and so forth, so which are the explained in the commentary later on.
Giuseppe, Jamatic song the other, Akonda, the dish toss, and then the dish by question, then Teshan, then Martina, tribute, so she says, not to take a vision session.
And then in the first, the second two line of the first verse, which indicates the main subject matter of this text, which says, as explained, that the nature of all things is established as emptiness. And then the next verse, which in the commentary, which says the next four lines confess the reason why all only a few scriptures are cited here. Also.
Let me show that dinner as a dinner, Lord, them at Nonya, Tony, Somola, Nepa, Tapa, Troy, Sure, Tony, Edeja, Lenonja, Debas, that's a Cardi sent touch, Lord, them at Lord Zobono, Tony, Somola, Nepa, Tapa, Troy, Shudder. That the card that they're gonna do it, they thought, Nideja, Lungi, the Basta, Churusada, Amadio living in their Lungi, the Batani, Docility by Docility of Gomal. Then repeat the button, Pony Duncha Bata, then Church, Julin Jua, Ribatons, that there. Pony Duncha, Ribato, Amata Soli. Soli Jones, the Ribatons. Tonya, some more repeat, not on Taibi, Gone, Telan Beba, Amazatons. I got the Teago, either they touch woman Rosa Tunira, Temelatin, Ribandotism, there you talk about Amazashira, the Indosal. So far, then resort Lama dos. Hamada rejectialas with them, Hamadima, Hamadon. Then Papa La, then Jabba, they who children Rosade, then let them get Love let them get the Kunda, Love let them get that, not choose that, Love let them get you know those. Papa, Gomba, Debbie, again Debbie Chok, that's suggestion, but the Palitas, but the Palitas, that Daisha, but the other Juba. Then Caesar Salas. There, Tony Denchipawas, Tony the Jim Devachiosa. And then, or Japan Devachio, Bada, but the Dechichi was just said, Jupachi is there. Then, all Caesar. Then, Tony Denjabi and Devachi, and Japan Devate, Dechichesta, Daisha, Daisha, Rosa, and Jupiter Chondrosa. Daisha, Jitapa, Garoga, Conjavatan Gandora, Shale, you know, the Shale, you done, send you 10 children, Rosa, and Donna Jai, yes, so, Dodia Samo talking, Nibono, Denny, Roger, Tombania, Trapa Shepa, La, Jachi, Bata, Shaji, Tai, Puta Cheba Shawo, started. Got them, then Church going to Atia. You can't pay in Rosa, Sabajin, Koya, Marabas. Imagine you can't Rosa.
So the commentary continues. Therefore, those with intelligence must widely read, gain a definitive ascertainment of the profound emptiness, and penetrate into the bottom of the view by rely upon the followings. So the as we note in the root text, which says which recommends in recommending the sources for studying, so like the treatise on the middle way and so forth. So now the so forth with which include the compendium of sutras, which is a collection of excerpts from various sutras attributed to Nagarjuna as compiler. The scriptures which establishes emptiness as the definitive meaning. So that's just an example of a scripture which in which the emptiness is considered as a definitive meaning. And then the Nagarjuna's text, 70 stanzas on emptiness, establishes emptiness by reason, by reasoning it. Then Nagarjuna's root verses of the middle way, or the fundamental wisdoms, which establishes the profound view of emptiness through the myriad of reasons, as well as read the rest of the Nagarjuna's collections of reasonings. So all these texts and there's a few more texts comes later. So a lot of you who's been studying for over a long time, so you have heard the commentary on these teachings. So this just confirmed or just verified that all the texts that the Geshe said that I have told you, so you now know that this that I didn't make a mistake, and you didn't make a mistake in terms of hearing the words of the right text. And then the scriptures of the Aryadeva and the Bhava Viveka, and especially the supreme, the Aryadevas, like the 400 verses, so which you studied in the past, and especially the supreme commentary on the Arya's view, Buddhapalita, and then the Chandakirti's text, which like most commonly is the four very common commentary by Chandakirtis include like the supplement to the middle way and the clear words, and then there's the Chandakirti's commentary to the Nagarjuna's 70 stanzas on emptiness, and as well as the Aryadeva's 400 verses. So these are the important texts for studying on emptiness. And then the Shandarakshita's commentaries. So in short, all the Shivalharu. No, is that Shanti Deva's commentary law? So is Shanti Deva's commentaries, and then in short, all the scriptures that unravel the meaning of the emptiness in terms of how all things are fundamentally or originally devoid of inherent existence, as presented in the Buddha's profound discourses, such as the Mother, the Perfection of Wisdom Sutras. So, in the order of this English translation, so I've already read to you before. So the commentary goes: so therefore, those with intelligence must widely read, gain a definitive ascertainment of the profound emptiness, and penetrate into the bottom of the view by relying upon these texts.
다들이 자체모 모든들라 르모모도 자체모들 저런 먹게 봐 진짜 가리 있잖아 공기션은다 내가 깨나 유 모만 제비 이제 티셔츠다 내가 모본로 등이 맞게 있어 나는 대다 마트라 티바지바 마셔 주제 좀 때만다나 니 주제 때 마이스 주제 때 마이스 가리는 르르지 트비게 전다做现在呢 내가 다음에 고비가 되는 라도 셔봐 되이스 르르르바 너디 생각에다 내가 시라 고비 되다 너디 제이 맞게 봐 가리는 뭐게는 뭐로라 뭐지다 얘들 집아집아 마셔봐 집아 마셔 너디나 되네 르르르비라 르르 르르게 드비게 다 좋았어 내가 르르르비 봐 드비게 되니까 다음에 돼 다음에 봐 고비 되다 생각다 대셔 있어 너디 대서 하시 야 저제 얘들 다 거든 다 내면에 다 진짜는 다 내말에 근데 거야
So Dennis, have they got a copy of the today? All right, okay. Yeah. Sorry? No, I've got one. Yeah. So then the commentary. No, not. Did it down? I've got it. Yeah. Just a second. Then the commentary continue with the raising a question. If there's question, why is an extensive scriptures citation and reasoning not provided here? And then, of course, the author, the Atisha, then you're trying to explain that this is because there are great many passages to cite. So obviously, because there are so many, so it is it will won't be enough to cite or to quote all the scriptures. So for this reason, it is not elaborated here. So nevertheless, a brief but good presentation is provided here for the purpose of meditation on just the view of selflessness as in accordance with the scriptures and reasonings. No.
so much is damen gombe te rade sheba yimbi shar tonyin den jebi riba de shibi tene ronde le jong la tara ko ronde to de jibe ron je san yo ta se de re yo ta de ida gobo le de na te jin de wan ju ten ci te te shiba dang tene yibo je le jong te jin ren ju la so bi riba ko la ko ba yi 일본 zembi de chenbo maleba dobasha ta de kale tenju ribate ta naga ka de tu ro ronda de da de jin de wan ju tensi de so de kiba nimbo je le de jin de wan ju a so bi riba kola komba yi de de to riba ka ko ngibon zembi nimbo dema de danza de chenbo de verna de chenbo de male ba ke dongdus tende to bi shirate la isa so tende ya ta so mo te ti ma to da de
then the commentary goes regarding the verse which 51 line, the reasoning of the 70 standards on emptiness. The self commentary says so this presents the reasoning of the dependent originations. So this is referring to the 70 standards on emptiness, so which presents the reasoning of the dependent originations. So Atisha's definitive compendium of the essence also says, through familiarization with the reasoning of dependent origination and others, destroy the great demon of grasping at things without any reminders.
对，你看你等着这个真正学校嘛，你看等着人呢是吧？他就他们嘛等着是吧？大都比大城人过的都比他等着他，他就他们嘛也等着先这个的他他这现在他上台走的，这什么台？你你不电视老板叫买了吧？老板叫他在就是搞个的啊，他那眼的来不我不来就是的呢，大都接受。当年赛话，接近邻居，我们也得是让苗他的。大到是千差赛话是，真的当年赛话的，点就个把可的是，是吧？真的吧？他这那个也得没等于点就把这点把意思，那个在听话，把嘛些的，我过的要怎么对的。
So in here, so there's an emphasis on applying the reasoning of dependent originations. So which it says here, in the commentary, there's a quote from the Kadamba's pit instruction, the blue book, or in Tibetan Pebum Ngombo, where also praises the kingly reason of dependent originations. So since many of you have studied all these topics in the past, so we assuming that you get some sort of understanding as we go through this commentary. So in here the word dependent origination. So it's this view of the dependent origination is the indicate the very unique or the uncommon view of the Madhyamaka school of Prasangikas, and then the text, the commentary says on as to the significance of emphasizing on the reasoning of dependent origination. So it says here, they meditate on dependent origination in order to eliminate the extreme view of permanence and annihilations.
다 대공업에 대공업에 걸어 뛰던라고 대공업을 가르치는 다도 최소 땅에 세워서 된대지 된는 줄 아세요? 다다도 천사에 진짜 세로 된는 줄세를 내가 천사 세사로 지제 된다는 줄 천사 세서로 그래라 예산 쉬어들라 다 땅다 세로 골라 된니 그러나 골라 된니 줄 예산에 골라 땐 주야이나 다 천사 세노죠. 점사 세죠. 다 골라 땐 주야라 골라 때문에 론 잡아서 캔로이다. 다 땅타 캔로죠. 땅인타. 정말 저로 대모라 대년에 과대 아프죠. 근데 그러나 일단 다 드려야 땐데 그 고대에서는 어느 동비 고대 용대. 동비 고대들 땐데 고대 용대 게. 그래. 또도 땐주 뭐지 있어서 다 손도 하고 근데 가르해서 근데 예전에 다다도 천사님 가르도 자들다 다弄到 다 땅에 진세로 그러 천사를 자 땅다를 자세는 다 땅에 뭐 되세요 천지 살아만에 따인 살아만에 왜전 땅에 뭐 되세요 천사도 땅다를 내대 땅에 뭐 돼. 된지 공부 이제서 얘네 손 대도 때니 때진 저완 주의 있어 뭐처럼 몰라 당한 빨리 가요. 때니 주의 세례로 다 천사께서 가르세네. 제제 때라를 라리바 때가 이제 천사 세로라. 때니 주의 이제는 골라 때문에 이제 론도 서도 잡아 캐는 거로. 이제 다 땅타 캐스 그거 네 뭐부터 그거 몰라 다 거기 저러서 공대하는데 나다 천다 세라 나도 최소 땅에 세서 땅에 봐서 천사라네 땅달라는 게대로 Roas, legend about nothing that Chivitan Nendo, Gal, you are the Galtigo, my Dumajuan, Chanta, then you said that it's a Chanta said on the Aita, how goes one dot there. Is that in what there is repeat Jabot and what she says. Repeat Jabot, no, 10 days, 10 days in my game. That's I'm going to say. I'm going to dinner. You want to be the chim, Mali, don't do passion. The children the half over. Comba is, give on Zimbi, their chambers, give on Zumbaza, give on the Batavan Zumbasan, give on Zubas in Dicata, or dancer, their chamber. They get a call in the coin machine of the Teaco, the woman thought the Cheso, Tang says, they didn't, you go be he does. And so that's on Teto.
So just to explain a bit more on this, the quotation from the that blue book, Kadamba's blue books, where it says, meditate on dependent origination in order to eliminate extreme view of permanence and annihilations. So so because this reasoning of dependent originations has the effect of really the eliminating, the both types of this extreme view, extreme of permanence and the extreme of annihilations together or simultaneously. So because of that, so it is this dependent origination, reasoning of dependent origination is very, in a sense, it's very, very powerful. So, so for as the way how if we think about how the when we understand that the things through the reason of dependent arisings, dependent origination, how thing, if we understand how things are dependent, and so with that knowledge, then this actually the explicitly really the dispels or the eradicate the extreme view of nihilisms. The fact it is also like extreme view of nihilism or annihilations, which like the view that like the law of karmas don't exist, or the view which negate the idea or the fact that how the virtuous and non-virtuous actions results in the in the happiness or the sufferings. So when you all these are the example of the view, extreme view of like annihilations or nihilisms, and so therefore how there's no room for such extreme view when we understand the dependent origination, the truth of dependent arising or the origination of the things. So and then at the same time, or when we realize, as we through realization of that the fact that things are dependent, and then this implicitly also we also realize that because things are we understand things as being dependently existence. So therefore this we automatically we are refuting the idea of things existing like independently, independently or without depending on any other phenomena, other objects, or things existing self-sufficiently, or existing is by itself. So this is also, with the understanding of the depending origination. So this what we call this view of the permanence or the eternalisms, such as the view that the thing exists, the inherently or independently. So are all implicitly negated with the understanding of the emptiness. So the dependent arisings. So so therefore how when we think about this, then how this by relying on this reasoning of dependent arising, then how it is we can easily or very effective in overcoming all the wrong view, all the kind of wrong views, which wrong views are those views which falls into the other of these two extremes, either the extreme of permanence or the annihilations, and so therefore as it says here, how the by relying on this, then one can truly understand the meaning of how the emptiness or as the dependent arising, and the meaning of dependent arising as the emptiness. So these two things which are like the what we call as a dependent phenomena and something empty. These are not something separate. Rather, they are like almost like a one entity, or they all like one of the same things, same realities, and that's how we call it the middle way, which is free from the both the extremes. So just no. So especially it's important to make an effort to, when you studying on the emptiness, then trying to understand make sure that you are understanding also lead one to understand the meaning of dependent arisings. The complement to the meaning you are understanding of dependent arisings. So likewise, when you understand the dependent arising properly, then that complement that also give you the reinforce your the understanding of the emptiness. Okay. So here's the question for Jeremy, I think. Krishna asks whether there's a quote from this blue book which says, meditate on dependent origination in order to eliminate the extreme view of permanence and annihilations. Just that sentence.
Is the question explained?
Yeah, explained. Yeah, you are.
So phenomena is a dependent arising. It implies that it's arising from causes and conditions. And so that would fit the extreme of permanence or eternalism by showing that it's not independent
the la but the no the
then they say that then they say what in the
so meditate on dependent origination in order to eliminate the extreme view of permanence and annihilation. The Yugen Latin Chuma in the Hako in the Zamba and Tadi Kolangang Tilton and Chebegi Tishoro Tadi Do to Wars. Could you yell at Hako with us? No deal out. Judan King then the share into Zamani and the Castle Chetale to Wars. And then how this you said, but knowing that things are depends on cause and conditions, so you can overcome the extreme of view of annihilation, right? And how this now help to overcome the extreme of permanent view of permanence.
I think that becomes the view of permanence by showing that something depends, depending on causes and conditions, therefore it's not independent.
So you don't get there is a and Koran ki meabadi and have worries. Things that to worries.
I don't know that's something quality made. Sitting but in some moment.
Yeah, that's good enough. So yeah, not depending on any other phenomena, any other or things, and rather thing exists in its own right, like its own right. So that's how overcoming the extreme of permanence. So as in the commentary we come across the word in the blue book, so which praises that the reasoning of dependent origin as the kingly reason of dependent originations. So so why when we the dependent origination when using the dependent origination, so because it they eliminate both the extreme views together simultaneously. So therefore that reasoning is called as the king of all the reasons. And then at the end of this then the section, then there's a line says, hence which is like a presents like a syllogism, syllogistic statements. So given person and phenomena, so which like are subjects, are empty of inherent existence because they are dependent originations. So that's the statements, so which are the basis for one to meditate on emptiness, and to if you have if one have full already have gain all the understanding, so just by focusing on this, then one it should be able to to realize the wisdom of emptiness.
That's on test. That then much much by this. That Goshi Jelly Java, Temashe, Delishe, Roger, Maya, Jella Rale, Conte Tombani, that's the Ronje. Goshi, Tony, Shite, Quiet, is that is in the shine. Tataro, how go the other Tatia, Holy Jelly, Shell, Temashe. Tell us, say, Roger Yamai. Jella Rale, Tombani, say, Onsha, Pony, she there, quiet, is soon that night.
And then the commentary continue. So this point is mentioned in this called the sutra. The sutra requested by the Madhurba. It says, whatever produces from conditions is unproduced. It does not have the nature of production in itself. Whatever depends on conditions is explained to be empty. So whoever realizes emptiness is pious also.
대진 대안주아 대라 대노 대치 대노라더니 뭐니고 로지 잡아고 덴바 잡아고 스팅에 잡아 주제가 말해서 다들이 봐 선도나 야본다 친노 대진 주안들 대는지니 뭐대 로지 잡아 롱에 잡아 덴바 잡아 주제가 말해 들리지 선나 야본도 다 선대 한고 누아지.
And then continues. Then it continues, whatever is dependent origination is devoid of its own identity, even a tiny bit. So when he mentioned here is devoid of own identity, so we can also it also devoid of like a true existence, inherent existence, or existence from or in its own right. So these are all the same meanings, has the same meanings.
다들 한번 좀 엄마라 다 엄마레시다 자시를 대진 중 공연바 되는 원이 셔스 된대요. 다 원이 또 와리 셔를 대하 공부하세 원이 저도 대학원을 된데서 하고 싶어 된데서도 엄마 자녀 차시를 된 저바 된데서 도모 많이 말jan 또비 따서 그래 또비 따서냐 또비 따서 전치는 되니까 대대마 또비 따서 대대마 단지 더 많이 붙는 또 발은 다 돈이 두 방에 들어가 다 손 너무 되니 뭐니 셔스 골라잖아 골라때다 공주와 되는 뭐니 돈이 다 소지 때서 하고 내가 된대이나 다 로지 잡아 뭐니 잡아 내벼 윤대 되고 다 고서 된대 이사 다 로지 잡아면 돼 근본도 고상이 된대 로지 잡아야 야, 로제 졸라 골라 땡땡이 몇 번 저기. 가서 대주제 하고 주제 로도 하고 내가 자세네. 골라 대제 공유하는 시수 세스. 나냐 뭐 한도 공선 되래.
So and the commentary also quote the Chandakirti's supplement to the middle way explained it here. Whatever is dependent arising is identityless. Also, depending on one thing, arises another thing. So, so all this, in the text, the commentary, the cite so all these scriptures and all these scriptures. So where they uses the dependent origination as a reason to establish that how things are devoid of inherent or true existence, and then of course it is one need to understand the meaning of the dependent originations here, so which you have studied in the past, so has a different connotation depending on the various school of tenets, and it can be means dependent means in terms of depending on the parts of the things, or on it can be means like the merely designated things as being merely designated by the conceptual thought, by depending on that. Yes. So, do you understand or have some idea of what that mean by, probably you might have some understanding of the dependent originations, but what about the emptiness? When you hear the word emptiness, does it carry any profound meaning or not? Or empty?
Roger May said that Meval Kojimadiat, Roger May said that Chino Roger Maria said Meval Kojimadiat.
So when he says the things are empty of inherent existence, things do not exist inherently, so we should not get the notion that the things don't exist.
Yeah. Tanyabal Handong Gombis, Handong Gonson, that day, Chinuta, Maliba, Roger, Tan, Mimi, Namabanago, Congo, Teni, Shira Gomba, yes, there's the Vasalo de Korea.
So now then goes to the second heading. The second is how one trains in the special insight. So the verse 53, thus whatever is meditation on selflessness, in that it does not observe an inherent nature in phenomena, is the cultivation of wisdoms.
Demet Delambaba, Tayina, Demba Taco, Roger Dema Delambaba, Bebina, Garzena, Koza, the Primos of Chino, Mali, Batene, Tomo, Miami, Roger, Dana Cheda, Nas, Tomo, Miami, delivering in your target, that's Sandup. Koza said, Dan did that, Pimbo, Pimbo, called. Ko Shenche Dibi, that Chitoji, Demetella, Baby Nas, Baba, Deina, Tada, Demetella, Cadesa, Hala, Goza, the Fimbo, so Chino Mali, Tomo Mai, that Delu. Ona, sitting in Chippy. Then I'm telling him, I say, Yana, not that thing. That Teta Chitonje, Tomo Mai, Delu, or Roman. Dajing in a triple yana, that card said, Yana, Sanera, Yana, repeat say, Negipali, that's why you may Pina, without China, more trip without Mepanito. That is that shadows of Kaza Rabajing in Tachera, Jayshing or that, Tendisando. Delung and Koza, Delung and Trola, Cola, Timajosa, around Koza, the people took. That they pull ya. They pull ya, that tennis dragon do them, that sagre, Dame Castle Ryan, Dame Gobaja, they have Conan Jib, reverse ten children, Tanya saw the Martin, that Jib is there, that does what you met by Nitos, that Dame Reza was on the chin, only to be that met by Nitos, that Jib, that chick. Charles gets the apparatus and that, and this guy just saying, Jay, the terrace one. Repeat in Bang, I am repeat the time. Was on Tomo Mime, more delung in a catcher. Ona, Yana, Jesus to my ever said to more, then never said, then Yana, Yana, Ona Jedo, to my ever, Chavang. Chabang Ebetel, that Giana Cardi, the Mayan Cardi Katimba, I think I chose the operator, the restaurant started. Charles Dingen, the younger S, and Java says Archer.
So, so first if we read the commentary. So having thus presented all phenomena, so this means all phenomena, so which include or encompassing sources, constituents, and aggregates. So that's which are all the parts of the phenomena, the categories of the phenomena, as being devoid of true existence. The conclusion is that the person or the other phenomena are absence of the self that exists by its own nature or inherently. That's its own nature or inherently. So this, gives some sort of the guide that in when you engage as one engage in this or as one meditate on the fact that how all phenomena are being empty or devoid of true existence. So when you engage in that, so first, so it is implied here, or it's a guide here that what one is required to do is to also to understand, to recognize, which is the object of negations. Ascertaining the object of negations. So that is to say that suppose if a person exists truly or inherently or exists by itself, then there have to be a person or a self which exists independently or without depending on any other phenomenon, any other object, but exists very the having its own existence in its own right, from this very what we call as the person should exist on the basis, very uncommon basis of the designations. So in that basis, and the basis of the designations, so that self or the person so should have there should be a self which should exist independently and not depending on the aggregate or any other objects. So as it says here, so this is the commentary goes. This is so because if they all do have such a unique self-identity, then it should be found upon analysis. So first one have to in the meditation get a picture of this negated self. Suppose if it is the realities, if that self really reflects the ultimate nature of the persons, then how that person should exist. So as it says here, then the person should exist in the independently on that uncommon, that basis of the designations, somewhere in that the basis of designations and without depending on anything. So with that, with a picture of that, and then to analyze, to investigating, whether is it possible to find such persons. So essentially, which Geshe said he recommended for your that previous week discussion or seminar where you would have studied the 4 points of the ascertainment, the ascertainment of the the object of negations and the privations, and then the assertment of the being, the empty of one and of many. So that's the process. So the logical point that you have to apply it, and in order to see the possibility of or whether the such existence of such self is attainable or not.
That 在一些人，在一些人，在一些人，给把那年给把这个没年毕竟国家的去了，我这边那没把你头，是里边接近我把电你去了也怕着，小把现在我把也在，我这爸爸里去了就你把他到，我你老说吧，当你公给下来，没没把啊。说这些吧，这是的，是啦，就说的吧，是在这个啥子，公交啥，也人他一届的，也真的呢，他一届的，人家周来的么子，他也人呢，他一届的啥，在什么从人们的了。就是下我那觉得当开的，是啦，这今年呢，这个怎么这个不行了是他。真的也打算听多个啊，对吧？这边是吧？他一切的开始个是他点了个，他在什么人面的点，啊，就是听什么大家看来在等几个人，上了马多呢，我买了他们的新买的，上了看来做真的，哎，我说是。
So just to continue this reading of the commentary. So, however, not even an atom of it can be observed and found. So, meditating and searching for the self in the analysis itself is meditating on the perfection of wisdom, as the middling stages of the meditation by Acharya Kamalashila says. Since you use wisdom to investigate the essence of all things, you practice concentration without identifications. Therefore, you are a practitioner of concentration of supreme wisdoms. So up to this, so we establish the fact that how the objects are devoid of the true or the inherent existence. So what follows now after this, which says now, as to the question of how do you abandon the grasping at that? How do you abandon the grasping at that realized wisdom? So anyway, so what follows is then looking at whether the subjective mind, the ultimate nature of the subjective mind. So which we will continue in the next week's teachings. So in the meantime, if you take your time to study, to read more on this relating to this topic, and also very important, not just reading but actually to think over the subject matter, and there is no reason, no cause, no reason for one to be, if you find it a bit difficult, but no reason to get frustrated or trying to giving up, but rather, however, if one, what's important is to always trying to read some words, text, and as well as give a thought on that, reflect on those meaning, and then gradually, then one will notice that the increase, of one's understanding of the subject matter.
ena nga loyi sha no atel chi nga tsu chi no che do tanya so no ya no ni we are ta te ni ngene e she ji ka ri khong isa to ni ta ma to no de e she to go sam du ena ya ta nga de re nga no nga shi loyi sha nga ye so chi ya lo nga loyi sha phimo loyi sa mo nga loyi sha re kan de sha ge eto nga loyi nga chin do ta re ko la te me je so de loyi sha yi ji go de wa ta te re son bi ge son ba chi ya ro son ba te me re ta te la ta ko za da te ja ta te ta nga do 대라 대다 품보 대화로라 품보 대화로 다 산들이 하고 딱 다리 잡아 고자들 도망해서 그래봐 고자 내사데 예 저야마 소소 나데 노아 노지스데 뭔데 간에 노건데 노아 노지스 다로이 바 샤바제니 노아 대 노지 적은 데도 문제지 다나 다 손들도나 다 대지 아부하다 나 담무는 다 손대 도시야 얘네 다가 들이 아부야 그래서 예 다도 이제 가시티서 자 배우면다 되는 만나서 편서 자 사람은 다 먼저 고사세 파이에다 코딩을 표버서 예다 표버는 코딩이요 소소 표버들 거문도 이제 되게 다 마셔 얘나 그만 나를 짓볼잖아 제가 소소 다 저주면 대마사제 매예가 다 정도 그거 다 정도 되니 그만 나를 사자 제본대로 나면서 보는 그만 님을 쌓는 거지래지 얘는 되지 너무 너는 몇번씩 된대래 아 그래다 저런 또 되고 내지 제가 가서 보자서 가서 살아 나 가서 얘네 가서 뭐래 치소제 로지지 마트바 로지집에 땅에 소재치 셀하니 와서 얘는 내가 가서 저를 하고 너지제만 되어요 아래 소재치 세대 일단에 얘네 치칸에 로지지 마트바 로지집에 땅에 얘네 존에 다 소재치를 맞대 여신만데 현세를 걸어야 소재를 맞으면 이때 땡대가 삼대 얘네 돈이다 소재가 전체로 맞아서 얘네 라다 저를 하고 뇌와 치서제 로지 맞아봐 롱에 맞아봐 소재 치시샤 대샤를 하는 뇌와 소재 치세 대상에 사법배르신 그래서 나는 아시면데 먼저 내려 야부랑이 대셔다 저로서 과주면 아예 단도가 대등이 단대는 유모물로서 만데 근데 강가처럼 안 좋은 게 좋아야 돼 안저 좋아하는 게 대대 손도야 돼. 나 내가 가봐요. 다 손대. 안다스. 안내 맞지 내게 돼야. 안돼 이만 된 저다. 저기 좀 야, 나내 저기 내 주시면 뭐지? 킹. 말지. 그래서 막 단다 게임 하시는 거 맞네. 저런 거거든. 야, 거기 차던 거. 거기 차던 해 봐요. 거기 차도 하고 말고요. 석고하고 그 가오하고 거기 차도. 정말 잘 누더지 하고만.
We going to reach out this the king of prayer. Sandup. What's the name of the lady? Maria's, her
Maria brother died last week.
Brother,
yeah, brother, her mom was. Huh?
Is her brother, right? Who
Who
passed away, yep. So we...
teacher the Coronel Young, Jasai, London Meljana, La, then Apoya was your name, Cola, Corachi, Yaneta, Moria, Corolla, Mother Sassage, called the Tayeri with there. Very five chimney, Rojo, Rojo, my catcher, going outside, Geshe Doga, the Coro, Bear Rojo, and the what there, Levon, there, Perry, the Nita. Corolla says of Che, and Coroboroda, you know, on the children. They are 20, Duma told the Chichina, did Sanchez told they are 20, Duma told the Tangi, Shaggy, teacher, Tangi, Zushan on Degi, in the Sajano. Mila Pegger, Sozola, the Pendo shooting, you are it. I'm going to need that.
So we're going to dedicate this prayer to the deceased brother of Maria, is it? Maria, and who it's been a very long term, the student of the member of the Thar Institute, and many of you know, and she's been one of the regular comer to the teaching, and she lived here and a very good student. And so we want to dedicate this for the...
I know my choice. She's very nice, very independent, very quality woman, kindness woman, compassion woman. Really, is that? That's another called Sessa. Then she was dead, then sent a candidate, they are tongue, do not tongue, correct people. Then you had us on Dona, I'm going to show you say that.
So Maria, who has a very gentle and very warm-hearted woman, and so we dedicate this. The condolence. Condolence. No. No, condolence. Yeah, to express our condolence for the for her and for her family. Yeah. Condolence. Condolence. No. Or
yeah. Live mind live low. Live low outdoor live up. I say for he. Live here upset. I say live up. I live clear, live up. I did. I said so certain Tsering. Mind live low, very upset. Upset live.
So you're sharing, because
I said that I pray that one. She and brother need all things, no suffering, all time happiness.
So we're also here to share her, the sorrows and what she's going through, and so the trying to, as we recite these prayers, we're trying to cultivate the bodhicitta motivation and especially to pray for the good rebirth and for the happiness of the disease. So by doing this, not only we contribute, we help to the disease and all her family, but also it also give us an opportunity to recite these great prayers and to cultivate bodhicitta mind.
Unleash very sick. And unleash.
Any leech.
And one of people live here.
Any leash here?
Yeah, people live here and my cookie. Good friend. that's 6. On the about teacher, only Haku.
Yeah. So she knows. Annelies knows her.
Any leech is sick. No, Geshe is saying any leech is also sick.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, very sick.
What?
More never Annelies.
Oh, and it's a river Casas. I don't know.
Hello.
Yeah, and
I'm
one believe that. Sister, their mother, them. People live there, walk there, sank it on a restaurant. I went there. Good, that and nothing to so some woman did a called now the thing. I many their check. Called Chen, called Cheguaris. There's a lot of art in a garden. I want something in a token. And that letter, Malabar, the one at the nation, other Melujan, and check good. Chili, Lucy, and watching. Tattoo, Chilo, get your last art, the rest, and the Chilo hanging in the tattoo, get you call her so at as reading, because the same. Malaria, my heart sort of and the Chilo hanga, tattoo, and the get your sort of reading. That, then you can have one the idea.
So Geshe said it's his nature, not only he pray for the all, other sentient being, but also he is very always remember when to pray for all the people that he, come across in his life, and he knows, and he always, when they go through a difficult time, he always think about them, and so it's also part of the our spiritual traditions, where just as like on other teaching night we said when we run through a very hard time, then we normally don't pin our hope on the human, but rather place our hope on the godly beings. So that's what it's we got. It's also so we as part of that. So we. In a land with such that same tradition, so we do the prayers.
Yeah.